Episode 958. Man, these episodes continue to keep outdoing themselves, and honestly, I can't keep up. I feel like we need a break. Just kidding. I mean, keep bringing it to me, man. I want to see more and more and more of this. Starting this episode off, we got a recap of last episode and the Shipkai speech. We definitely know that the Shipkai are strong. It just like I can't really fathom that the Shipkai were put in place to deter the emperors in some way. I'm not sure who from the Shipkai is strong enough to deter an emperor alone. I feel like all of them together still wouldn't stand a chance. Maybe Mihawk, but we still haven't seen his power. I'm just saying that based off of the fact that he had sparred with Shanks in swordsmanship. And he's definitely still the strongest swordsman in the world, so maybe that's telling us something. But we cut to the fact that the Navy has found out that Big Mom and Kaido have teamed up. This is insane. This is groundbreaking. They have never seen anything like this before. The Emperors are teaming up to take on the world. And Rox is bringing up again. Now, we get more backstory into Rox, and that we find out that Gold D. Roger and Garp actually teamed up together to take down Roxy Zebek and his crew. And that is insane. That's groundbreaking just to find out this. That just reaffirms how close Garp and Roger actually were. Even though they're enemies at heart, they may have been comrades and allies in battle, and that's just that's a close bond between them. And we find out that Zebek was trying to take on the whole world, and Garp and Roger actually saved the world government and the world nobles, the celestial dragons, from Zebek. Apparently Garp is very shameful of that, and I can see why he is. Everyone can see why he is. The world, like the nobles, are dickheads, obviously, but the fact that Big Mom and Kaido are now teamed up, they bring up the name Rocks. That means that Big Mom and Kaido are together, strong enough to bring back these bad memories from the past. The strongest pirate group in existence, the Rocks Pirates, and Big Mom and Kaido, two of the main powerhouses as the Yonkos now, are coming together as former Rock Pirate crew members. That's insane. So we get to see all the bounties of all the current emperors, and man, I was kind of disappointed to see Blackbeard's 2 billion, but he is a fairly new Yonko. It's only been like a year maybe since he's been established. And the biggest thing was Shanks's bounty. Now Shanks's bounty was 4 billion berries, and that's pretty insane going up against the evils of Big Mom and Kaido. Shanks knows a lot though, so we must remember this, that Shanks has been to Laugh Tale. He knows something. And that ties into my other theory. I feel like Shanks knows more of the future, just like how Odin knew 20 years in the future that there would be people coming to free Wano. Shanks knows something. Shanks knows something about the future history of the world, and he's trying to prevent something by targeting Blackbeard. I feel like Shanks' tragic story will be trying to stop a calamity from happening, and he will try to change history himself, but it might not be possible. Now we cut to Fujitoro and Sakazuki having a chat, and Fujitoro is actually hurt. That just reaffirms my belief. I feel like Sabo had a clash with the admirals, and he actually got captured by the admirals. So he might be locked up somewhere, and Fujisaru was actually injured, so it shows you how much of a powerhouse Sabo actually was. As admittedly, he was going against two admirals, which are Green Bull and Fujisaru, and we don't know how strong Green Bull is. I feel like Green Bull's like a plant paramecia, but we'll get into that later, maybe another episode. Yeah, let me know if you want me to talk about that stuff. I kind of like doing just episode reviews, but yeah. Now Zebek's goals actually go parallel with Dragon's himself, because he's trying to reform the world government, but I guess Zebek was trying to become the world government, which is kind of different, but they're merely trying to take down the celestial dragons and rehash the world's government in a different light. We also get this intense scene between Akainu and Sengoku, and that's pretty insane. The fact that they have tension between each other, it's pretty intense, but Sengoku, I think he means well with that warning against Sakazuki. And they bring up Odin. They think that Odin, or Sengoku thinks that Odin has something to do with all this, because Odin was on Roger's ship, he was on Whitebeard's ship, he was also a notable pirate, the only notable pirate from Wano, I guess, besides that dude we saw in Marineford, but I forget his name. But yeah, the appearance of the new bounties with Shanks having 4 billion, Big Mom and Kaido also being over 4 billion, and Gold D. Roger and Whitebeard both being over 5 billion. I feel like that reaffirms the power hierarchy and the amount of power these individuals actually possess. So I think Whitebeard was still on top of the Yonko even in his old age. And I still don't know the power hierarchy between the admirals, the commanders, and the Yonkos, meaning comparing the Shibukai with the Yonko and the 7 Shibukai against the Yonko. I'm not sure what the power scaling about that is, but it is pretty crazy to know that the Shibukai were emergency measure and that there's something new, something from the SSG that is gonna replace them, something that is a new world power. Now, I don't know how much of an upgrade the Pacifista are gonna get, but maybe it's something else. Maybe they actually have devil fruits. Maybe they have Kuma's devil fruit. And that would absolutely be hacks. So, this episode was crazy. It gave us a recap of how Garp and Roger teamed up to take down Rock. Also, the fact that God Valley was also erased from the maps where this battle took place was also insane between Garp, Roger, and the Rocks pirates. It just goes to show how big of a threat Rocks was to the world. And the fact that the world government would want to cover this up means that they are very close to losing it all, I feel like. So there is a character parallel between Blackbeard and Rocks and Roger and Luffy. So in the future, I hope we see more of these parallels and how they will repeat themselves. Also, an interesting fact is that Blackbeard is actually currently posted up at the island where the Rocks pirates were founded. So maybe that's also part of the parallel where Blackbeard is establishing his emperorship and or his emperorhood, and he's beginning his conquest for where the Rocks pirates began there. So a recap of the Shibukai from last episode and how they're going to be preparing for their battles, but also a look into the past and the present, kind of paralleling both of them. So the current Yonko and the past Rocks pirates and Garp and Whitebeard, and also Roger, and now the worst generation now in Wano. So I continue to hope that the next episode will also be as insane as this one, and I'll catch you guys for the next one. Hopefully you guys enjoy this episode and this review. And I feel like the theories for next episode, I haven't really got any. Maybe we'll see something continuing in Wano, but I do like these updates going on in the outside world away from Wano. So hopefully what's in store next for us will be insane as well. Peace.